Hi everyone. I want to thank you for joining me on this video. My name is Jerry Wise. I'm a therapist at Family Tree Counseling Associates in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. And this video is entitled The Lonely Marriage. One of the things I find very commonly for couples that come in are problems surrounding loneliness. It's amazing how someone can live together for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and then complain that they've never felt so lonely. Even though they have kids around them, they have a spouse there all the time, they have that relationship, they just feel very lonely and very disconnected. And wonder, why is that? I have a marriage, I have a family, and I just feel so lonely. So it's a real problem for couples and real problem for spouses. And I think it creates lots of difficulties within a marriage and creates lots of conflict, and these are important for therapists to deal with and for couples to deal with, because this problem of loneliness is pretty pervasive. I think loneliness is a real problem even within our society. Just take a look at Match.com and all the connected places, and Facebook, and how people try to connect via Facebook. And a lot of people who feel lonely use social media to try to connect in some way. And I want to explore in this video a little bit about loneliness, maybe where it comes from and what we can do about it. So one of the things that's very important, if you take nothing else from this video, and that's relationships provide companionship. They don't fix the problem of loneliness. Let me say that again. Relationships provide companionship and a relationship, but they don't fix loneliness. Loneliness is a whole nother animal, and I think often people don't understand the distinction with that, and the distinction of how loneliness is a problem in and of itself, and they try to use relationships to fix that problem of loneliness. Relationships can distract us from deep inner feelings of loneliness, just like gambling or drinking can distract us from depression or anger, or can distract us from all kinds of things. But just because something distracts us doesn't mean it fixes or heals us in that area. And again, those loneliness issues and feelings still remain unresolved even when we get married. Often it gets clouded over, or we get distracted with the honeymoon phase of a relationship, and we feel we're kind of oceanic and all enmeshed, and I just love them and they love me, and they're perfect and they feel I'm perfect, and we're just wonderful for each other. Then if loneliness is still an issue within both spouses, or in either spouse, then it begins to creep in again. And then the marriage or the relationship isn't fixing it like they thought it would fix it. Loneliness is not fixed through relationships. I don't know how to say that any more strongly. Just try to do it that way, and it often doesn't do it. Even when we try to fix it with relationships, and I've had people try it, I've tried it myself. Once I'm away from that relationship, the feelings still come back. So then I have to go and get unlonely again. And then once I leave or disengage from a relationship, I feel lonely again. So it isn't fixed through relationships. What are the causes of loneliness? And I believe loneliness is a result of abandonment, low self-worth, rejection, enmeshment, and cutoff from our childhood. And it occurred within our family of origin and may still be present even today, and may still be working in our family of origin even today. It certainly still is working within us, and so marriage doesn't fix that. It may distract us, but it doesn't fix it. So let me talk about abandonment. Let me give you an example. Parents can have such a conflictual relationship between them that the kids get left out. They're emotionally abandoned because the parents are all focused on their poor relationship. The kids are just kind of left to fend for themselves emotionally. The result is we feel not worth being with. Second of all, what about low self-worth? For example, parents may have low self-worth. This creates dysfunctional or low self-worth parenting, which creates criticalness and shaming and all kinds of other difficulties. And as a result of that parenting and interaction, not blaming the parents, just looking at what has happened, because the parents have often come from their own experiences and their own family of origin issues and inheritances emotionally that they got. And what's the result? We feel not worth being with. Let me talk about rejection. For example, kids come in, they are in their innocence and their excitement. They come up to mom and dad and are proud of their achievements or excited about something that's very maybe childlike or childish. The parents, in their own limitedness or immaturity, well, why are you so self-centered? Or you come and you show mom and dad you have an A- in this class and you were just so excited about that, and then what do they say? Well, why didn't you get the A? In our family, we get A's. And again, out of that rejection and that experience, which lasts a lifetime, if not resolved or healed, the result, we don't feel worth being with. Enmeshment. For example, mom is controlling and very needy and very cut off from dad. So now there's a very loneliness experience happening between mom and dad. Out of that loneliness, now what does mom do but over-attach or enmesh with kids to meet her emotional needs? This enmeshment teaches and trains us to believe that without enmeshment, there's only loneliness. If you don't have enmeshment, you don't have love. If you don't have fusion, then there's no other alternative. And what's the result? I don't feel worth being with. I'm not worth being with myself. And if I happen to feel I'm worth being with myself, this is somehow perceived as selfish or goes against the enmeshment, and that's bad. So you should not feel like you're worth being with yourself. That's a threat in many families. What about cutoff is another I mentioned. For example, mom and dad divorce, and as kids we feel forced by immature parents, conflictual, dysfunctional parents who choose favorites or who force us to choose favorites. In other words, you need to choose me as your favorite, as the dad, or you need to choose your mom. Whatever pressure there is to choose favorites between mom and dad, we feel caught in the middle, then we experience cutoff from both. Because if we choose wrong, or if we don't choose it right all the time, we feel the cutoff, and that severe cutoff between either mom or dad, and that's painful. Also, the cutoff that's experienced between mom and dad, we get the inheritance of that. We inherit that from them emotionally. And then what's the result? I don't feel worth being with. And loneliness is created. Loneliness is a deep feeling I experience in which I do not feel worth being with myself. So many times people think loneliness is about other people. Loneliness feelings are about being with yourself, because that's who really heals the loneliness feelings within us. As an adult, loneliness is not about other people, It's about how I feel about being with me. Therefore, marriage is not a fix for loneliness, and marriage can't fix loneliness. Many experience severe loneliness within their marriage, and who do we blame for that loneliness? Our spouse, because they're not meeting our needs. They're not making us feel close to them. They're not making us feel loved. They're not making us feel accepted and somebody we want to be that we want to be with. But we have within us the feelings of not feeling worth being with. And that wasn't caused by our spouse. Often we choose partners or spouses in the hope they will heal these deep feelings of loneliness within us. Unfortunately, it is doomed to fail. Marriage does not and cannot heal loneliness. This loneliness pain can results in and creates problems within marriages. It creates conflicts, arguments, reactivity, enmeshment, cutoff, frustration, triangles, emotional triangles, hopelessness, affairs, acting out, and blame. And all of those things can happen within a marriage because that deep feeling of loneliness. I believe you can stop the cycle of loneliness. The healing starts with you. And once we experience, we feel worth being with and create a better relationship with ourselves, then relationships become much easier, clearer, happier, and satisfying. But first we must believe we're worth being with. That means you're happy with being with you, not waiting for someone to feel happy to be with you, you being happy with being with you. If any of this is resonating with you, give me a call. My telephone number is on the video. Email me if you have questions. Check out my blog. Check out Family Tree, www.familytreecounseling.com, and join our Family Tree Counseling channel on YouTube so you can watch the new videos. Send me your email address. You can do that through my email, which is listed, so you can get special mailings regarding recovery and family systems type help for you. If you don't live in Indianapolis, that's okay. I do Skype and FaceTime counseling and coaching. It's easy, and as my younger clients say, it's time to do you. Thanks for watching today. Have a good day. Hi, I'm Jerry Wise, therapist from Family Tree Counseling in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. And I'm lucky enough to be here in Long Beach, California. And I just wanted to let you know that you don't have to be in Long Beach or LA or Indianapolis. You can be anywhere where you've got internet access or online, and we can be of help to you counseling-wise. I'd like you to call me at 317-919-6264. And I appreciate you listening and watching all the videos, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.